What's up, babes? So I thought I would do a quick little Rise 2022 video recap, just based off of my weekend, kind of everything that happened and how everything played out. So for me, this weekend was the weekend of the DQ. So even on Friday in Colorado's bracket, I was going to DQ, found out I was DQ'd by the time I came back to bracket. That's its whole other subject, but DQ'd out of that bracket. So didn't really get much practice. And throughout the week, did not play too much. I was in the office. I wasn't working from home, so I couldn't play as much. So my hopes kind of going into Rise was we'll see how we feel in the day, and we'll get through it. What I did like about Rise is it had multiple events that allowed me to warm up kind of through these other events, because singles is the main piece, right? Singles and doubles, because doubles was definitely a big piece of this as well, but singles and doubles, and then kind of squad strike a little bit. They had a random bracket. They had a Smash 4 bracket that I'm glad I didn't join. I don't know how anyone plays that game anymore. The buffer system has crippled us, believe it or not. Go back and play Smash 4 if you're an Ultimate player and just tell me how it feels. Anyway, so me and Shu were the only Colorado people that traveled out. We drove there, and I lost my keys in Denver. By the time I realized this, I was in Arizona. Now, this was shitty, but come to find out later, thank God, I didn't stress about it because I was hoping and praying that it was just in Shu's car, which we had no confirmation on, but it was. It was in Shu's car, so when I got back, everything fixed itself, thankfully. But I was worried, and you're going to come to find out that I am not the best planner, but we will improve, just like we did in bracket this weekend. So we literally touched down and got there. We got a little bit of a flight delay, me and Shu. And we landed and literally went straight from the Uber to the event to play doubles. So we started playing doubles. And I think me and Shu are really starting to get our groove going a little bit. Not playing as your main is definitely a difficulty for Shu, but I think that we kind of got it figured out with either Diddy Mario or Diddy Puff. I prefer Diddy Puff because it reminds me of our success in Smash 4 with Diddy's up throw. The amount of the amount of hit stun, I don't even know what you'd call that, from the grab, nobody can air dodge or react for a while. So as long as Shu's up there doing his thing, rest, dead. Everybody's dead early. And not only that, I can start to do combos and then they get rested very early. We kind of cleaned up most of bracket. I think we were the second seed. We did end up placing second to Stroder and Krupp, which was kind of just the wall. Like, everyone else felt very doable, and obviously they were because we beat them. MFA and Epic gave us a little bit. They were about to reverse 3-0 us, and I was just like, we just got to chill out and calm down. The problem, and there's kind of a large problem with not playing your main in doubles, is that when it comes to the 1v1, you're a little out of your comfort zone. And I think Shu was the only one present who was not playing as their main, but we were able to clutch out that set in losers finals after getting absolutely obliterated by some Ganondorfs in winners finals, and then we gave them a little bit of a run for their money in grand finals. Like I said, I'm very hopeful for the future for me and Shu. I think the next time we'll be teaming together as Crown, but we do have some time to implement some things that we've learned over time in doubles. And that was day one, is they finished all of doubles, which thank God, because day two was definitely a busy day. But day one, we did some squad strike, we did some random, and we did some singles, which we're all going to finish on day two. So day one squad strike, I fought Kira Flax to make it to top 16 winners. Kira Flax ended up beating me. Solid set. Solid time meeting Kira Flax for the first time. Solid dude. Everyone has an image of Kira Flax in their mind because of all the rage videos and stuff. But just like JFK, Kira Flax was the man. After just kind of hanging out and playing, cool dude. Love the way he plays the game as well. And just chill overall, solid. So it was nice to meet Kira Flax. I think I played him online a long time ago, but he's solid. He's really solid, and he beat me. So we agreed to a best of 5, even though it was only a best of 3, because there were some vets, and we were like, fuck it. And he ends up taking it game 5. I'm like, fuck. That day I was going Diddy Falco, and then K-Rool, and Falcon, but mainly K-Rool. And it just was not panning out the best. K-Rool did have a solid end of the day to make it through loser's side, because I did have to do one more qualifying match, but that was the end of squad strike for that day. Random, turns out it was legal stages, but the first day we did random stages, hazards on. We were on Green Hill Zone, me and this one guy. He's like, is it random? I'm like, I thought it was random, but I had no idea. We were random. We played on Green Hill Zone. We played on Olimar, Distant Planet or whatever. Tons of fun. very ridiculous, but tons of fun. My luck was not the best. I was getting too many Shotos. I was getting some ugly people, but we made it work. We made it through Winterside on that one, and that was the end for that. And then we went to pools, which I was expecting Rise to be a little bit of a bigger tournament. The TOs were solid. The people were great. It was great to see a lot of the Arizona homies, which it seems like they're dwindling because I only knew like Stroder, Potter, Coco showed up just at the end. A couple other guys, Frost, but Frost is like a new guy to me, so I don't know Frost like too well. Horse was there as well, and it was good to see some of those guys, but there was a lot of new faces and people that I just didn't know. El Paso, New Mexico showed up. I can name a bunch of them. Greed, Seba, Diego, PhD, we were all chilling with. Greed's New Mexico, by the way, but Fizz Khalifa, Kevin, all the boys were out there. So it was good to see a lot of those guys. Whenever I go to an out-of-state, I'm happy to see them. But in singles, I cleaned up my pools pretty well. There was the one stream match that I had against a Richter. Forgetting his name. He had a jersey. He was solid. He clowned on me game one. He beat me up game one on FD too. Whenever I lose on FD, it hurts somewhere deep in my soul because I'm like, dude, Diddy should be just dominant on this stage. Dominant on this stage. And I lost. And I was like, all right. But I was starting to figure it out at the end. And I was like, okay, I kind of see what's going on. Won the second game solidly. Won the third game solidly. And it just felt like, I adapted. And I kind of saw what he was doing. He didn't really change too much. So I was able to take that one. Took the rest of my sets pretty solidly. And then I was done with day one. We finished day one. I was just money matching people, playing random doubles, doing a bunch of stuff. But like I said, like with that core group there, it was a fun time. It was a good time. The TOs were running things because, it's hard to run like 5-6 brackets all at once. It's hard. I think they did rock, paper, scissors that night. Whatever. So we left and we went to go eat. We had some bomb-ass tacos for lunch, me and Shu. Very hot in Arizona. But we went out and walked like a mile or two in Arizona summer heat. It was like 105, 110. We're sweating. I love the heat. Shu is absolutely miserable, but I was like, it'll be worth it. Potter told me these tacos are bomb. It's called Taco Boys down by the ASU campus. We get there, charcoal grilled tacos. We're talking carne asada. The chicken was great. The pastor was good, but not as good as I thought it was. Usually, pastor tacos are like my favorite. They were still solid, but the best solid food that we had the whole weekend. Finished bracket, we went and got pizza at Pomo's. Shitty. Pizza sucked. I was upset, but redeeming quality. They had gelato, chocolate chip gelato. Oh my God, it was good. It was so good. So we finished that. Potter, shouts to Potter for housing us and all of El Paso, I believe. We all chilled there for the night. Woke up and it was time for day two. Day two was the end of everything. Now, what kind of sucked for me in day two, and it's kind of unavoidable, is I made it very far in all these brackets, so everything started intertwining. Everything started to be a little bit goofy, but we made it work. So I think I started with Squad Strike. Squad Strike was like the thing to start it all, and I was in losers, so I was kind of just like running through. Fought a guy named Venom. I won 3-0. Fought somebody else. I'm trying to remember who. I won 3-0, and then I think I got to Fizz. I fought Fizz on stream. I think that was a game 5. I beat Fizz. I got to Seba, who had just beaten Shu. So I've run it all the way back from top 16. This is loser semis against Seba. He goes up 2-1. I think to myself, because what did I do this day? Instead of the K rule, I brought out the Incineroar and I found out that's my guy. That's the dude. But when I went down 2-1, I was like, maybe I should switch. But the theme of the day was stick to your guns. So I did. And I won that one. I brought it back. Won game 5. With Incineroar just carrying, man. I'm telling you. That Incineroar, because day one, Diddy was doing everything. Like, I wouldn't take a stock with other people, and it would just be like Diddy just holding down the fort, and I'm like, he's just the tank, man. I don't know what to tell you. But I got to Frost, who was in Losers Finals, and he had a Diddy in his lineup, so it wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen, because I was, like, looking at the Diddy, and I'm like, Falco and Incineroar, I feel very comfortable fighting a Diddy Kong with these two. The Ditto would be fine, but he's not going to throw out his Diddy as the last because that's not his like main and I kind of knew that. The order in Squad Strike I'm starting to see more because Shu's big on Squad Strike, which I gotta rub it in Shu's face because we didn't even get a play. We did some money matches before and I'm pretty sure Shu beat me the day before, but I didn't run into him because Seba was able to beat Shu. But for the most part the order doesn't matter too much to me, but I think that it actually does a little bit in the meta, especially depending on the stage and how much you're looking to cheese. But Town was like my big pick because Falco back air was killing stupid early, Incineroar side B, and Incineroar anything is killing off the side very early. But I 3-0'd Frost, and then I made it to Schroeder and Grands, just out of nowhere. I made it all the way back to Grands, and I 3-0 him on winner side. I 3-0'd Schroeder. He was playing Mario, Roy, and Cloud, and a Greninja mixed up in there in the first set, and then he brings out Joker as like his third, and then it was Mario, Joker, and Roy, and then he 3-1'd me. Did I take one? He might have 3-0'd me. I think he 3-0'd me, actually. So I 3-0'd him, he 3-0'd me, he won squads, but I was happy with my performance there. Now, squads was intertwined with everything else. So while this was happening, I played 2 singles matches and 2 randoms matches. I lost to MFA in randoms, got 5th in randoms, losing to Fizz. My luck was mediocre, but it was good enough. But going from playing random to an actual set, because my first, like, no offense to anyone else that I played, my first, like, serious set was B Rice. B Rice was a solid Isabelle player. Some people say the best Isabelle that there is. Looked a little unfamiliar in the Diddy matchup, but it was still a game 5, hit for hit every single game. Just a solid fight all the way around. Knew how to pocket my banana, get rid of it, and kind of be like, hey, you're on your own. Like, you gotta fight me straight up. And I'm just like, yeah, no, that's what you're supposed to do. Dealing with Lloyd was rough. I am inexperienced in Isabelle, so it was kind of this thing of we're just trying to see how much we can get away with our character, just pushing the character, because we're both looking a little bit lost in the matchup. But get to a game 5, I was able to pull ahead. I think I was allowed to go to FD twice, which I wouldn't recommend in the future. If B Rice is listening to this, ban that shit against me, just because Diddy should not be allowed to go there. Just because of how well he controls the neutral. But you did a solid job. I thought it was a great set. And that was like, because I was seeded 9th. I was seeded 9th in the whole bracket. The whole bracket I was seeded 9th. B Rice was the 8th seed. And then after that, I had to fight Stroder. So I had finished all the other side brackets because I told him, I'm like, please just let me finish all the goofy shit so I can focus on singles. Now, once I finished all the goofy stuff, it was time to fight Stroder. And I was like, all right, Stroder's the number 1 seed. Stroder's the best player in Arizona. And I'm like, all right, let's do this thing. And I told Shu before, I was like, I'm going to go beat him. I'm going to go beat him. So first game, he goes Mario, which is a matchup I'm pretty familiar with. But he was showing me some gimp stuff that I've never seen any Mario do. Stroder is one of the most creative players I've ever seen. And when I was hit by 1 gimp, the other one I got kind of lucky because I hit like a regrab on it. I'm going to do VOD review on this too. But I hit a regrab. And he hit me, but when he hit me, I get my like jump and barrels back because I technically am grabbing and he's not hitting me out of barrels. But he got another gimp. I was able to clutch out that game after pulling ahead. Switches to Greninja, which was giving me hell in Smash 4. He's been a demon for me since Smash 4. Beat up the Greninja. That was the most probably solid game, except maybe his first game with Roy. But I go up 2-0. I go up 2-0, and then he shows me, he's like, you don't know swords. And I was like, you're right. Goes Roy. Slaps me game 3. Game 4 was a little bit closer, but he did pull ahead, and then I did lose. And then there was game 5. Now for game 5, I counterpicked the Smashville, just because I thought like getting him off the stage was going to be priority. But then after playing on Smashville, I was like, I feel like I need more room. And as someone that hates PS2, took him to PS2. Took him to PS2. He goes ahead by a decent amount. I'm on the last stock at like 80, 90, and I take his stock. And then I just start cooking, just out of nowhere. Hitting good combos, hitting monkey flips on platform. Whenever I hit a monkey flip on a platform, I feel good. I'm like, all right. I thought I gimped him. I didn't end up gimping him. It's last hit, last stock. I get a down tilt up smash. I win. Little pop-off, solid pop-off. I was pumped. First time I've ever beaten Stroder in any game. I don't even know how many times we played. Probably like 3, maybe 4. I'm trying to think like all time because he beat me in like New Mexico. I think we played in Colorado, but solid player. Love Stroder. Like I said, he's one of the GOATs that I know from Arizona, one of the oldies. But solid stuff. He was able, obviously, to run everything back. But after that, I sadly had to fight Shu in winter semis. Like I said, I think I was underseeded, but it's whatever. I had to fight Shu. And then Shu almost reverse 3-0s me too. And then off some goofy barrel shit, game 5, I was able to beat his Mario, who he counterpicked me with, because I went up 2-0 on his ZSS, and he's like, Mario. And the Mario was doing great, and I was pissed. I told him the day when I picked him up from the airport, I was like, so mad that your Mario was so successful against me, because I'm like, shouldn't be like that. But I was able to cheese-ish win, and I was like, sweet. set up for winners finals, and I look at the time, and my flight's at 8, and at this time it's like 6:30, and I'm like, shit, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. So we're looking at other flights and we're like debating, but I already spent so much money on this flight that I was like, no way am I gonna like cancel this one to get another one that's gonna cost more money. Fuck that. So I play winners finals. I win game 1 against MFA, and I feel solid. I'm like, oh, I think I got this. And Olimar's tough, and it seemed like he kind of locked it down after that. Beat me up for a game or two. They were like kind of close, but it just seemed like I was getting steamrolled a bit, just like a bit. We'll review it, but MFA's solid. Olimar's good. Shu was saying debatably better than Myron, but solid, very solid. And I felt bad because I know Shu feels confident against MFA, but that matchup is just not pretty for me. So I lost to MFA 3-1 in winners finals. And in losers finals, I'm looking at the time and I'm like, guys, I gotta go. So the weekend of the DQ, I had to DQ again. Run to the head TO gave me a ride to the airport. Shout outs to her. She dropped me off and she's like, you want to go up those stairs and run? So I got out of the car, booked it up the stairs, barely made the flight on time, got in there, went home, found my keys in Shu's car, and had a successful weekend. So I got 3rd in singles, 2nd in squads, 2nd in dubs, and 5th in random. And overall, I felt good. I didn't feel incredible. I think we reached peaks of like very good play, but there were also times where I was just like, we're better than that. We're better than that. It could be controller Johns. I was using Shu's controller the entire time. The second day, because I forgot my controller the first day, so I didn't even have like a back-to-back day controller. It's a little goofy. I need to plan better is the synopsis for all this, but the theme is the DQ. But shout out to Rise. Great tournament. If you guys have not gone, I expected it to be bigger, but it was a great tournament run by good people. Ascension's coming up for Arizona. I'm looking forward to maybe next year's Rise if I'm still around. And yeah, that was the recap, people. Peace out.